Hey, everybody. Welcome to the Blue Abroad Show, Monday, the 28th of February, the final day in February. And I've got a very special guest with me, as you can see, Rocco, joining me on the Blue Abroad Show from Jumper Punch HQ.
How are you people out there? We're just me and Mars. We've been we've been in hibernation. We just come out. We're pumped and we're ready to go, mate. We're ready to go.
Mate, I've been speaking to you for the last couple of weeks, and I'm not going to give anything away, but I can sense there's a bit of fire in the belly, and I think there's a lot to come this year from your end.
Oh, there's going to be heaps. There's going to be heaps, and it's all up to the boys, isn't it? It's up to the boys, depending on what's going to come out this year. But at this time of year, man, we're always optimistic, and we're seeing little things, and we're grabbing those little things, and we're running with it, you know. So this is what we're excited about, yeah.
100%. No, I'm excited for it. We're going to touch on that a little bit more later. We're going to talk about the practice match, the preseason match this week against Melbourne, tickets, a little bit of AFLW and Darcy Vecchio's milestone.
Yeah.
And then we're going to get stuck right into the Michael Voss Q&A, which was a very interesting piece. And I'm going to get a lot of your thoughts, Rocco, and those of you in the audience as well. So what we'll do is we'll run the little intro.
Play the intro.
And then get this show on the road.
What's going on? Look into that!
Martin's been very impressive.
Every single point!
They call the Carlton supporters and they thank you for the love.
Gates in some playing glass gun. And there's a magic ball. The ball inside 50. Control! He strikes it beautifully. He's got it.
I tell you the part that gets me up and about the most, it's Mark. Every single fucking time.
I was going to say, Mark, he's got that on loop, you know. He just plays that constantly when he sees himself. So Mark loves it, man, and he does really pump you up, doesn't he, Mark?
Well, he does. Mate, you can say what you want. When he talks about ruthless aggression, he's not wrong.
No, he's 100% right, man. He's like, you know what's going to happen? He's going to see this, and he's just going to go at us, mate, like, I told you, ruthless aggression is what we need, mate. Remember how many times he was telling us about what coaches we should get? I think he mentioned Voss a few years ago, so he was on the ball. Good on you, Mad Dogs.
Love it. We're looking forward to seeing a bit more of him in the fan cams this year. Hopefully he's a bit more happier. Hopefully we're all a bit more happier.
No, that's it. We will be. We will be the Kool-Aid. We'll drink it. We'll be happier. Let's do it.
I think, like you said, preseason, obviously there's no games and bad losses to get mad about. So all you have is hope. What's just on a high level, before we get really stuck into it, what's your overall view of what's happened in the off season? Like, I haven't really spoken to you on the channel about it. What's your take overall with everything?
So everything. Listen, the club was in a bad position last year. Let's face it, it was terrible, man. From the top to the bottom, we asked for change, we demanded change, and we got it. So we can't not be happy. You know what I mean? So we got the changes we wanted, you know. Not everything we wanted, but we got the changes we wanted. So that's all good. So, and then, you know, we get the new president. He's out there answering questions, saying the right things. So that's looking good, you know. We're getting the coach. He's also saying the right things. He's a player we all admire. I've always said Voss and Hodge are the two greatest captains outside of Sticks, right? In the AFL, VFL, they were tough, mate. Every time they went in the ball, man, they'd run through. I love that. And now we got him. The thing is with Voss is we just hope that he can now transfer that over. We can say whatever we want about game plans. You can say blah, blah, go all day. But if he can't pass on that message, we're going nowhere. So I think he can. He's that type of person. We got some players. We get a lot of players. You know, we're putting our hopes on Lewis Young, and you know, we're just hoping. But Chera looked good, so he's definitely bolted that midfield. So look, we've done all the right things. Now we just have to implement that, and let's do something about it. Let's get some wins. But we got to be happy with the changes. We asked for it all year. Do you remember how much did we ask for? This has to change. This has to change. And it did. It finally did. And so let's hope that now that transfers over to the game. Yeah.
I was thinking about it in the car yesterday, just as you do, as that's all we seem to be doing, thinking about the club and what's going on. And on a high level, I'm thinking, do I have faith in the president right now? And my answer is yes. So we tick that box. I'm like, do I have faith that we have the right man as the CEO? Yes. Tick the box. Do I have faith that we have the right senior coach? Yes. Coaching panel? Yes. Can't fault anything at the moment. Squarely on the players now.
Yep. All right, now I'm going to ask you a question. Teza,
yeah, mate.
What's the definition of faith?
Definition of faith. Believing in something.
All right, so I'll give you my definition of faith. Definition of faith is the reason you give when you haven't got answers, right? So this is all in faith. We've got no proof of it. This is like God. Like you can only, because there is no proof, so you got this faith. And now we've got this faith in Voss and all that. On what evidence? You've got no evidence. So we've got to see that, that's the only thing about this faith. Yeah, you had faith in T.
I did have faith in T. I think there's a video of me saying...
I've got faith, but that faith disappears. But, so I didn't want to put a little bit of downer. But you're right. Listen. We have got some big names up there, and you've got to be happy with what we got. You've got to be happy with what we got. It's no way it's a backward thing. This is this is a big thing. So I think, look, we're in the right direction. So yeah, definitely.
All right, we're going to touch on it a little bit later as well, because we've got plenty of footage and things to run through and dissect. The first thing I want to do is, I put the members down below. I've got to update that list, actually. There's a couple more Premiership members, but I want to thank the members for what they've done for the channel over the journey of this all. They've allowed things to grow to the way they have. And so we really do appreciate that support. And then we'll touch a little bit on the AFLW. Now, I've got to admit, Rocco, I didn't watch the game. I was out. I didn't watch it, but I do want to take a moment to congratulate them on the good win, and also congratulate Darcy Vecchio on being the first player to kick 50 goals, which, listen, it might sound minute, but when you're talking about little steps, it's a brand new competition. These little milestones that you tick along the way are important. So it's good for Darcy to be able to have done that.
It's good for her. Really, I don't watch a lot of AFLW. I just haven't got time, you know what I mean? But I definitely keep up with the results every week. You have a quick listen at the reviews, and it's all good. So, look, they've done what they had to do in the last couple of weeks. They've beaten these lower sides. Good on Vecchio getting it 50. I think last year she got the record for most goals in a season, maybe, So she's ticking all those boxes, So, yeah, good on her. She's done well.
It's good. It's good. We're going to get a full rundown on the AFLW show on Wednesday with Shannon.
Yes.
It's a very interesting time because things are starting to ramp up now, and we now have the perfect storm where there's a lot to talk about, which we'll cover tonight. And then Wednesday we can get more in depth with the AFLW as well. So there 100%. Is
100%.
3 more episodes to go of the AFLW show. And
should be big episodes because there's a lot to really talk about because there's a few issues there.
What are you seeing? I was up in arms a few weeks ago. What are you seeing?
Everyone's up in arms, because you're not seeing the results. The only thing I saw that I thought was a bit strange was we lost a few games, and the first thing that come out of everyone's mouth was sack Harford. and it's true. And I don't know about his coaching style. It looked all right. Like last year, really, did you expect him to do any better this year?
Yes.
Like they lost, did you? They lost players. They started exactly the same last year. They finished off with a few wins. They didn't make finals. Then they lose some big guns, right? But yeah, they picked up a couple of players. But the first thing was, let's sack Voss, man. We've got to be careful about that. I hope that's not the mentality of the club still lingering. The first thing we're going to do is blame someone. Is it true there was no review of the AFLW?
That is true.
Well, then how is this Hartford's fault? How is this Hartford's fault all of a sudden? There's no review. They didn't, he's not getting any help. Again, it seems we've got the same problem. But anyway, I just thought it was interesting. Like 3 weeks in, it was like, sack the coach, let's put Simo in. That's what I was hearing. Simo, wasn't he playing last year? All of a sudden, you got to make him coach, So you got to just be careful about this. Let's just everyone relax,
I think because of what we were sold from the message about the women's team. Yeah, we lost a few gun players, but it was all about, but we've still won these trades and we've brought in these players and they're ready to compete and all of that. And again, I know, stop getting hoodwinked and all of that.
And it's a little bit of hoodwinked. And then what happens is we get hoodwinked and then we don't get what we expect. And then we straight away looking for a scapegoat instead of saying, what is the issue here? What is the issue? Why is this happening again? You know what I mean? So I don't know if Hartford's the man. I think if he doesn't win the next couple, he's looking for another job, That's what I do know.
I think you're right in you can't just blame Hartford. I think the whole program, I mean, it is not just Carlton. There are other teams, but we hold the Carlton Football Club to a standard that we believe because it's the Carlton Football Club and it's almighty and all of that. I think, I've been to a few games this year, and the games that I've been to, the effort and the application hasn't been there. And it's like, well, are we being serious? What's this all about? So the fact that
if there's no effort, the coaches has to take some responsibility there. Why isn't there effort? Why aren't you giving effort? So anyway, let's hope they finish off strong and we can maybe they can. There's still time for a review, right? Let's not make it so public this time. Let's just do the review, find out what's the matter, and let's kind of fix the problems. What do you reckon?
I think also don't do a review for 13 weeks or 14 weeks.
That's right. Let's not do this like a long-winded review. Like it's probably the review will be going halfway through the season. Nah. So let's just hope, look, they finish strong, and good on, again, we said good on Vessio, well done. And a couple of other players. I just want a bit of a shout-out. I reckon McKay. I love McKay because
plays like her dad.
The dad, mate. And I watched her last year and she showed those kind of same attributes, So good on McKay, man. I hope she does well.
Andy McKay was a champion, wasn't he?
Champion. Oh my God. Like off that back line, man. He was a true champion, that bloke. Very reliable. We had him, we had Sexton, we had Peter Dean, and then Silvani, of course, and he was just part of that cog, man. So reliable, man. Definitely. I loved McKay. I don't think that is you say who's our best number 5, like we had like Sid Jackson, and then people probably say Judd, Windsor Brown like that, but McKay has to be put right up there talking in that conversation,
Yeah, no, absolutely. I think that having Abby McKay in the team, and obviously the story with Dad, I feel like it's a nice window to bring in some supporters who maybe don't watch the AFLW. There's always a little way to get some new people on board, and I think Abby carries that responsibility.
It's the McKay, mate. It's the McKay, I love the bloke. So, So good on her. Good on her.
No, that's good. We're going to move on because we had a practice match against St Kilda. It was wild. And when I say wild, what I mean is just by judging by
the people.
People tuned in on the channel at the game, the crowd noise.
We're crazy.
We are.
We're crazy. There was no productivity going on in Melbourne that day because everyone took a day off, man. Like it was weird, man. I couldn't find parking. Like it was weird, man. But when we got there, I actually enjoyed it. I really did. I enjoyed being out there, hearing the crowd. There was a couple of tackles and that. The crowd just went wild, man. It was good.
Well, what were your thoughts on the game?
So you can't really take much out of it. Let's be serious, Of course, it's a practice match. They're trying out stuff. It's St Kilda. St Kilda really aren't travelling that well, But so what you do is you take, like we do every year, we try to take positive. We try to take small positives and hope we can build on that, So the couple of positives were, look, Cribbs was doing what he was doing when he was at his best, man. He was in and under. He was getting the ball. He was feeding it off, man. That's what you got to do. He was strong in the contest. So I was impressed with Cribbs. I was impressed with Chera. I've been bagging him because I'm thinking I'll just get another show pony here. But he kicked a couple of goals and he looked good, man. He looked like he was running. He was breaking those lines. So he looked good. And the other one, I suppose everyone's been talking about, but I've seen this before, was O'Brien. He looked busy. Busy. Like, that's what impressed me. He just looked like he just kept on going. And he had like a bad patch, but he came back, He just looked. That's all he has to do, the kid. If he can do that and Cribbs can do what he's doing and feed it off to him, and he's using that left foot to feed McKay and Kerner, we start moving into another level, yeah?
I think the other part was they trusted him, or they had instructions to give him, the ball.
Because he got a lot of it. A lot of it.
Well, the unofficial stats were that he had 27 possessions, which, when I think of Lockie O'Brien...
Has he ever had 27 possessions?
I think 22 is his career high.
Low 20s,
And, the reality is he's going to make mistakes. Now, some of those mistakes are very easily correctable. Some of them were just a focus thing. And that brings me to a point about him, because obviously... bit of pressure on him from the fan base and even from his own position, because now he's on the rookie list. And I guess the big thing for him is, does he have the mental strength to fight through when he does make a few errors? And that's going to come down to a few things. Him, also the way he's coached. So what's Vossi telling him now? How are they reviewing his games? What's the feedback? Is it a pat on the back? Is it a little bit stern? Like, these are the things that we just don't know yet.
No, well, you don't know. And you don't know how these players are going to react, how you got to train. That's what makes a good coach. Coach is a teacher, man. He's got 42 people that he's got to treat all completely different, So how can he get the best out of O'Brien? Because we know he can play. He's got a weapon. That left foot is a weapon.
Yeah.
If we can learn how to use that, man, I'm telling you, we are a better side, So can O'Brien, right, when the times are tough, can he, like you said, can he get out of it? You know what I mean? Fight through those times and keep on playing well. So that's all we're waiting for, because we've seen it before. Like, he finished off not bad last year. Remember? He had a couple of good games. So, and now he started well. So he's got like 3 games, in his pocket. He needs 20. That's what he needs. So let's hopefully he can do that. But what he did on that practice match, we can't ask for anymore.
Yep. No, that's fair. I want to touch on the second quarter. Was obviously, we had first quarter was solid. Second quarter was not so solid. I've got a little clip here from Vossi talking about the second quarter and what he had to say.
Kane has asked what went wrong after the first quarter. The second quarter seemed to lack a lot of pressure.
Yeah, we just lost field position. So that was, I think what we're trying to ask the players to be able to do is to consistently implement what we're after. And we understand there may be some fluctuations in that happens in the short term. And that might be the tightening up of things as we go. And as the players become quite familiar, they can identify what's different and they can change it on the run. So that'll be particularly important for us moving forward.
I actually like that it happened, because for me it was like, Vossi, welcome to Carlton, mate.
That's it. This is Carlton. This is Carlton. Not what you were saying. This is Carlton, man. And this is the issue about the 5-goal turnaround. Now, I've seen comments saying, well, don't worry about it. They came, like they recovered. They got the 5 goals. They changed the game plan. And that's all true. That's all good. Let's hope it's just that. The problem is we did it so many times last year, and now we've done it again. So it's happened. You know what I mean? All right. So we got to give him benefit of the doubt. First practice match, and he did say about It's about stemming that flow. He did say all the right things, stemming the flow, make sure they don't score, make sure they don't score another goal. So that's the only thing that worried me was, like it's happened again. You know what I mean? Like if it happens again, to say it happens against Melbourne, then it's no more a one-off thing this year. Now already it's like a 15 times in the last year, so that's what worries me. But
yeah, I mean, there's a lot that I'm optimistic about, and if this goes right, and if he's healthy, and if he's in the right position, and if he gets his body right, where I think on the other end, and just being real, like what am I worried about? The thing that I'm, I guess, mindful or worried about is exactly this. Like we don't have the on-field just yet who have shown they're able to stem the flow mid-quarter without us having to wait until the siren for the quarter to end and get instructions and go back out there. And that's, I think, what's going to be one of the biggest challenges, because our senior guys now are Ed Kerno, Cripps. Who else is there that's like senior? There's not a lot of them.
Senior, there's only them. Like, we're starting to run out of the senior ones, but you still got Wiedering, you know what I mean? McKay looked like he was stepping up, you know what I mean? But through the middle, naturally, Walsh, he's young, but he's the leader, yeah. But you're right. You need these players to step up and show the way, in those times, So that's what we're hoping for. I would actually like to see against Melbourne maybe a 3 or 4 goal, and then see what they do against a really good side. And does it turn into a 6 or 7 goal, or can we stop it and kick 2 ourselves, So that'll be.
I was talking about Melbourne with Caden McDonald just before. Yeah. James Hutt, welcome to membership. And my perception of Melbourne, like, it's clicked. Whatever's going on there, it's clicked for them. And they did it against North Melbourne in their practice match, and they ended up winning by 88 points or whatever it is. They've now got that gear that only 1 or 2 sides a year can do it when they get that premiership confidence. And so you're right. Like, and Melbourne's a team that I think I remember 2 years ago, they kicked 7 in a row to start the game against us. Like, and this is the other thing too. I know we don't like the word patience, but I have a little bit more patience than what I thought I had at the end of last year. I think you have to. It's new.
You have to. This is like a new beginning. Don't think that you're going to get out there now. And anyway, we could talk about like people thinking we're going to make the 8 and that. I'm telling you, like, you got to think about that. Like, who's going to go out? How are we going to get in? The other teams around us who want to get in? Why are we any better than them? There's all these things. So I think we just got to be a little bit patient. Be a little bit patient. And what Melbourne is, you got to remember with Melbourne, like, they were up there a couple of years ago. You know what I mean? Then they dropped, and before that they were roundabouts, and then they were kind of building that thing, and then bang, it clicked. And that's what we need to happen to us. But we're going to do some hard yards before it clicks. And then when it does click, that you see what Melbourne can do. Because seriously, before that, you had no... Did you think Melbourne was going to win a premiership, make the 8, do anything like that? Not really, right? And all of a sudden it clicked and you could see it. And when you look back, you see it in Richmond, I reckon, in 17. You just see it. They're building. And then all of a sudden you look back and you go, they just won 8 games in a row. They were down. They slaughtered teams. They did everything. And you look back and you go, I did, because I didn't notice Melbourne last year. I know they were on top of the ladder, but wasn't really taking them too serious. But it clicked. And you know what else happened? There was all those young players that, no names, started stepping in and kicking players out. You know what I mean? That's what we need to do. We need the O'Briens, the Dow. We have to kick out Kerno. Kerno has to go. You know what I mean? Like, these players have to go now, and they have to take their spot. And that's what Melbourne did, if you notice. By the end of the year, this team was nothing like what you thought it was going to be at the start of the year.
No, it's true. They didn't hang on to the older players for the sentiment like maybe what we did. Just on the 5-goal swings, this is what Voss had to say about that.
On that, Ash has asked how we're going to limit those 5-goal swings in the future, and also what were you looking for from the AFL listed boys in the VFL practice match yesterday?
Well, Ash, I guess the biggest thing that we have to identify is, how do we get our adaptations through those particular times? As I said, we don't we don't suspect that we're going to be able to control all scenarios in the game. But what we have to be able to do is deny the scoreboard. And we understand that we're going to have some periods of time where we're not going to have it our way, and there'll be a genuine arm wrestle that happens throughout games. But the very, very best teams are able to just hold and hold that scoreboard, be able to absorb, and then be able to maybe get that goal against the run of play. We certainly had our opportunities. So if we finish those opportunities, maybe that scenario is slightly different. So it's a little bit of the whole, but it's also about the maximising what we do.
It's all sounding good, but we got to see it, and I'll leave it there.
I've got to see it, but he did say the right things there. We got to learn how to team that flow, slow it down, take control. And how do you do that? With leaders. Who's going to stand up and do that? And now with our Walsh out there, who's like, you got Cribs, all right, but who else is going to stand up?
Well, this is a good question. So if you had to pick 5 guys on the field who, for round 1, who are going to be playing, who when the Tigers are going to come at us and they're going to give us a massive quarter at some point, who's going to be able to slow the game down and keep their heads? I mean, I trust someone like a Wiedering. I hope Cripps. I think Cripps. Obviously you're back on him.
He's going to give it his all to flow. So you got no doubt Cribs is going to give it his all. So that's fine. You got Cribs. You're hoping Chero is going to be one that comes in. He's a senior player, man. We didn't get him as a baby. We got him as a senior player. So we're hoping he comes up. And then you got maybe Curnow, like to do it. But who else in the middle is going to really stand up? I mean,
Hewitt
if them can stand up, where Hewitt?
I think Hewitt's another one, but I think
he showed something.
He's tough.
He showed something, yeah. So
yeah, I think he's a player that we're going to like a lot more as the season goes on because he's not flashy, just tackles. He's defensively sound as a midfielder. Gets a bit of the ball. He's tough. But I think the other one is Zach Williams.
Zach Williams, yeah.
So
he was asked the question of where he was going to play, yeah.
Well, I want to be able to rely on him. We have to be able to rely on him, especially down back.
We got him as a senior player, right? We got him as an 800. I know we don't want to keep mentioning the money, but we got him at an 800,000 like senior player. We have to rely on him, And same with Saad. You got to rely on these players, but these are senior players that have come in, So. Yeah, these are the sort of players in the back line and the midfield, hopefully. And I think in the forward line with Harry and Curnow, I think they take on the game. They'll stand up and do what they have to do, yeah.
What are you thinking of the new look back line? McGovern, Wiedering, Oscar McDonald?
Listen, Oscar McDonald, he actually did all right. So, look, I didn't mind him last year. Everyone was bagging him. He played half a game. I thought he did all right. He looks like a footballer, and he did all right there. So Oscar McDonald, I'm not convinced about McGovern. He still looks lost. He took a couple of marks and that there. Voss did say something. I don't know if it was in that interview or another interview about McGovern. He said that he's still learning the trade in the back line. I don't know, man. Like it's about they're talking about playing him in defence. There's a week out and he's still learning the trade. So I think he's still lost. I don't know where to put him yet. I don't think he's our answer in the back.
Yeah, I mean, they're going to be playing him as a spare. In theory, it's like solid hands, solid kick. The ball will come to him. He doesn't have to create so much.
Yeah.
It seems like he's going to be playing as a loose, so it's going to be a little bit easier for him.
Yeah, cool.
But I think he's another one that's going to need some patience, which is a hard one to stomach.
Look, he shows talent. Like he's at. You know what? We had that with Sauce. Remember Sauce? We didn't know where to play him. He's kind of like found his way. We need McGovern to do that. We need McGovern.
Yes.
We need McGovern to find his way and find where he's going to play his best football. Is it forward? Is it in defence? It's sad that it's like 1 week away and we still don't know. So
yeah,
but I think they're going to try him there. I think Voss has like thrown his cards on the table, and we've got no choice. We lost Liam Jones, and so they're definitely going to try him as that loose defender in back.
Yeah, for sure. We'll touch a little bit on the Melbourne game because I was saying before, I love that we're playing them now. It's the best the best preparation.
I'm seriously looking forward to this game so much on Thursday night. This is going to be like awesome.
What are you looking forward to? Why are you looking forward to it?
Because they are the benchmark. Like, we're really going to see, and I'm telling you, Melbourne's, because you could see what they did last week, they're going out to play some footy, man. There's no need for them to try out their stuff, man. They're loving playing footy at the moment. You know what I mean? So they're going to play some footy, man, and they trust each other, man. They got so much confidence in each other. They're moving that ball. That's slick, man. People like Oliver, who was always a good player, but you never know, man. He's walking around with his chest held out. Petrarca thinks he's the best player in the world. You know, Gorn, you think he was big. Now he's twice as big, you know, like he's got that much confidence in himself. So it's going to be a huge test. I just want to see, and naturally want to see like people talk about game plan. What game plan? Like they've been training like 2 months, you know, like this game plan is going to take, if anything, you're going to see results in maybe 6 months. You know, that's when you're going to see some sort of result, you know. But, you know, I just want to see how they hold up against Melbourne. Let's be serious. We want to see a competitive game. If they can do that, if they can control that middle, like Voss keeps saying, it's all about the middle, about getting the numbers in there, being aggressive in the middle. That's what I'm looking for, you know, because that's where it all starts and finishes.
Yeah, Melbourne's a team, they've done it to us for some time now, but when we turn the ball over in the middle, they score off turnover really well. And that's actually something that not just Melbourne do against us. I think North Melbourne did it very well against us too. A lot of teams do it.
Because we don't. Our centres, we don't really defend that well. And really, if you think about it, our defence, like, I don't know, some of those players like Williams and stuff, they're not real. They're defenders, but they're not real one-on-one defenders, are they? Not like a Wiedering, you know what I mean? So if that ball's coming in like 50 times, you know, no wonder Jones is taking 15 marks, you know what I mean? Because, well, the ball's coming in that much. So, yeah, we need that midfield defense. And they did do that against in the practice match. I noticed that the midfield and also the smalls were really defending hard. You know what I mean? They were really really attacking the ball. So that's what I'm looking for.
Yeah. Have you seen any of these? There's a few youngsters that are, they're playing a bit now. Durden's starting to show a bit. His body's filling out. Kemp as well. We do love Corey Durden, of course.
He's our man.
Very biased towards Corey. But are there any youngsters that you're watching that you're starting to see a little bit from that you're interested to see how they go in the big day on the big day?
So real youngsters, or are you talking people like Owies?
Any of these, up and coming players.
Yeah. So like naturally, you got Kemp. We're looking at. We're really hoping that he can like develop, and Honey, and we need a couple of small forwards that are really busy, you know. We're hoping it's Durden because he's our boy. But Honey, I like Owies. I think Owies is an important player. He's like that mid. He's not too small. He's not too big, you know. Can take a strong mark. He's a bit more experienced. So you're looking at that. And these are the sort of players we are expecting to take some of our senior players' spots. That's what we're looking at. So, yeah, Kemp, Carroll. Look, Motlop, I watched a little bit of the reserves. He kicked a couple of goals, got us a little bit excited. I don't want to get too excited, but he looked like he had a bit of go about him. So, yeah. So I don't think he's going to be ready at the start, but hopefully he can get a couple of games. And by then, I reckon, for me, it's Durden. I like Durden. To get him as a blue and broad player, I reckon you've done well there.
I'll pick him well. Well, the big thing on him going into the preseason was, all right, is his defensive pressure good? Yeah, it's solid. He tackles pretty hard and he's intense and he chases and plays with the effort that we want. And the big challenge for him is if he's going to make that next step, it's can he get a little bit more involved in the game? So he had 16 touches. And if he's getting anywhere near 15 touches in a game in the AFL, I feel like he puts himself guaranteed in the team.
100%. You put 15, you're guaranteed you're going to get a goal or two, and that's all you really want from your small forward. I mean, over 20, that's 40 goals, 35 goals, man. You're doing that. I'm telling you, Durden kicks 30-odd goals. We're making finals, like it's. But you think about it. If he's kicking 30,
Yeah.
you know what I mean? That means that, like the big boys are doing their job. It means that the middle, is doing their job. Like, it's important. Like this Durden and Owies. I like Honey too. Like, the Honey Pot there. He's good too. So we've got some options there. But who's going to stand up? Who wants it?
Well, just focusing on these small forwards, I'll play a little clip that Vossi answered about them, and then we'll touch on them a bit.
Any comment on the games of small forwards, Corey Durden and Matthew Owies? Dylan Wall thought they were impressive.
Dylan, you're spot on. We've had a really strong pre-season from all those guys. A big emphasis has been around that forward pressure. Without being able to get that sort of forward pressure, we're not going to be able to get the ball in stronger positions on the ground to be able to score from. So it's been a big focus. Those guys have really taken to it in that role that we asked them to do, and as such, I think they've had really strong pre-seasons. And as you would have seen yesterday, they've contributed pretty well as teammates on the day as well.
It got me thinking. Would you want to play both of them or just one of them?
So you're talking about Durden and Owies, yeah?
Yep. So Harry, Charlie, Jack Silvani with Durden, Owies, and Jack Martin and Zach Fisher sprinkled in there.
Don't worry about Zach Fisher. Right? We're going to talk about him later. Don't worry about Zach Fisher. Still want to see what this kid can do. But you're right. You got Jack Martin. So this is the thing, man. Jack Martin comes back. But I think you got to play Durden. I think Durden has to play. I think he's the one that should be playing in round one. And I like Owies. You know what I mean? So he's that medium. He's not too small. He's not too big, So I think you should be playing them both, yeah.
I'm curious to see them both play. I think if you combine them two with Jack Silvani, when you think about the forward pressure that the three of them are going to bring, because they're dogs, the way that they go about it, they just hunt.
And he's the other one, like Sauce. Sauce impressed us.
Yes.
Again, he's moved on to the next level, man. He was taking marks. He was tackling that tackle. You know what I mean? So so you're right. Him, and then if you can get the dirt and then the Owies putting on that pressure, man, and keeping that ball in the 50, isn't that what it's all about?
Yeah. I think everyone at home, just type in a yes or a no. Would you play both Owies and Durden round one? Two small forwards, two genuine small forwards. Round one. Just type in yes or no, just so we can get a bit of a gauge as to how everyone views.
Yeah, does Jack Martin get a game?
I think if he's fit,
you do. You can't not play.
You can't not play Jack Martin.
Hello.
You can't not play Jack. I think he's too. Also because he can play in the middle as well, and I think with Walsh gone, we're going to need a couple of guys to fill the void a bit.
He's been a little bit disappointing, and he hasn't had, like, I don't know if he's had a full preseason. He hasn't played. I don't know. Is he due to play Monday? Against Melbourne?
I believe so. They've been very tight-lipped.
Yeah, I hope so. So if he plays, but I see the comments here. Everyone's going, yes. So I think they're the two at the moment. They're the two at the moment. We'll see on Monday. I'm sure he's gonna move them around and give everyone a bit of a go there. But yeah, can you imagine? Look, and this is if they're playing well, right? You got Big H, you got Curnow. Curno's looking good. I don't want to be like, hey, Curno's back and that, but he's moving well. Hey, remember when he limped off? I didn't want to look. I didn't want to look anymore. I wanted to leave right there. I go, I don't want to look anymore. This is it. But if them two, and as you said, them three putting the pressure, all of a sudden, and again, they have to work hard. Like, it's easy to say.
Of course.
That forward line starts to look really good, really good. With the Coleman middle, and we got Curnow back, and then you got them three men. I'm telling you. But you're going to make me drink the Kool-Aid. What are you doing, mate?
I could sense that.
All of a sudden, I'm drinking the Kool-Aid.
I'm just reeling you in. I think also Voss mentioned a little bit of something there about the pressure that they're going to bring, or that they did bring, and what we hope that they're going to bring is going to allow us to attack better So even if the ball gets out of our 50, the amount of pressure that's going to be on those kicks coming out, that is one of the key things where we broke down last year. The way teams were just walking it out of our defensive 50 was really poor.
Yeah, no, 100%, man. And I think he did say something else about, I think they asked him, I don't know if you're going to play this clip, they're going to ask him about, will we play with aggression? Do you remember that question?
I'll put it up now.
Right.
Rick has asked, will we see our boys play on the edge with aggression?
I really hope so. I don't know another way, so I'll certainly be. It won't be through lack of encouragement. It's a primary part of the game. We talk about system and how we want to play, and how you want to shift the ball off a line, or how you want to defend as a team. But it starts with effort and intensity and aggression around the ball, and I don't think that part of the game will ever change.
Now, that gets me going because I love it. And look, he said, when he said that, I wrote this out. He wrote, "I hope so. That's the only way I know, or I only know. I don't know any other way. That's exactly right. That's the way he played. If you remember Voss, he played with aggression. You know what I mean? Like really, he bullied his way through many, many times. And this is what we got to do. And he's saying, this is how we got to play. So I'm hoping they're understanding this. Like if he can get this through to them, right, mate, we've moved to another level.
Well, you picked up on it before anyone last year. Round one last year, you made mention of how, they're just – what did you see? They weren't going in hard enough. They weren't
Yeah, that's exactly right. They weren't going in. They were all over the place. You know what I mean? You just see them. They were all over the place against Richmond. They just let them – they just ran it out. Every time there was a contested ball, they just ran it out. You know what I mean? You could see that. And you could see that, and you're thinking, why aren't you going in at round one?
Mm.
You know what I mean? Why aren't you doing that? See, like, I said it. I said the coaches lost them already.
Yeah.
The coaches lost them already. Maybe I went a bit early, but it turned out to be right. This is what now Voss has got to bring, and he's got that now because it's brand new. It's brand new, so he's got that, you know what I mean? We've got to play with aggression. And I'm sure that if he sees them not play with aggression, right, he's going to let them know. And I hope he does. I hope he does, man. I hope, because this is his last chance, Voss. If he gets a sack in 2.5 years, he's never been a senior coach again. He knows that, right? I hope that he stands up to everyone and he goes, this is the way we play the game, mate. This is the way we play the game. And I hope he shows his highlights. There's a highlight where he kills almost a Collingwood player. Right? I must have been in the grand final. I can't remember.
Scotty Burns.
Oh, that was the best, man. I got that on bloody feedback always, man. I love that. That's what he's got to be showing, man. This is how we got to play. So, and he said it. And
you're going to see it early. We really are going to see it early in round one. It's going to be what's Cripps doing with his first contest. Hewitt. Yeah. Chera, how are they cracking in their very first contest? When a guy like a Zach Fisher goes in for his first contest, how's he going in? And I think that's where you don't want to make conclusions early because they're still learning things and all of that. But one thing, it doesn't matter what game system and what tactics there are out there, how they attack the contest. You don't need to be told how to attack a contest. You either do it or you don't.
Yeah, 100%. That's what it's all about. And man, that's what I hope he brings, man. I hope that they go in hard for him. I hope they're doing it for Voss, man. Just go in hard, man. That's all we can ask for. And if you go in hard, I'm telling you go in hard and the first contest you bowl over someone. Man, they think about it.
Yes.
Your confidence lifts just a little bit more, you know what I mean? You win that contest, you know what I mean? And that confidence lifts, and then all of a sudden that player that also is going to go into the contest, he doesn't go into the contest anymore because he trusts he's going to do that and he moves into the position. But you don't think Voss is going out going, right, this is the game plan. You stand there, you stand there, you stand there. Then when he gets the ball, you run, right? But instinctively, what do? You go to get the ball, man. To trust another player is a big thing. That's what he's got to instill into the players, and it starts with that aggression, man. I'm telling you, like most players, like you said, they've got some skill, but aggression is you don't like that's not a talent. It just go in, mate. Just go in,
True.
Like do something, do something.
100%.
Get the ball. Get the ball. Just get the ball.
I've got 2 more clips to play.
Yeah.
From this fan Q&A, and it's 2 clips from 2 separate players. So two of the players that are kind of, what are we going to get this year from these players? One of them's Paddy Dow, the other one's Zach Fisher. Yeah. And I think this answer about Paddy Dow is where I got most excited about this presser because of the way it was answered just truthfully. So I'll play it here.
Devon has asked, why did Paddy Dow not play in the first game yesterday?
Well, Devon, he's probably up against that contingent of on-ballers that you saw play in the AFL game against St Kilda. So, like I said, there's not 18 positions available. There's a tight time frame of where you play, and we feel like he's had an exceptional preseason, as have had the other boys. They've been driving each other really, really hard. But in the end, you've got to sort of make a call on where guys are going to play, and I guess the players that we chose to play on the weekend were the ones we went with.
Just down the line, I think in seasons past, a guy like a Paddy Dow, we'll put him on the half-forward flank if he's not performing in the midfield. Yeah.
We've got to play him. He'll get better.
Yeah.
Trust me, we'll get more games and we'll get better. No. Right? And he said the right thing. The good thing he said there too was there's not 18 spots. There's only a few spots, man. Because you're only playing one position.
Yeah.
There's only 5 spots. Are you ahead of those 5? It worries me that he's not ahead of them. Right? That really worries me. And if Voss is saying, because let's face it, Paddy Dow is soft. He's soft, mate. Even Greg Williams said it. He's got to go in a bit harder and that. He's soft, mate. There's nothing wrong with that. You're soft. Get aggressive, mate. I'm telling you, or else you'll be asking people, do you want fries with that next year if you're not careful, So I think Voss knows that, and you could see it. He was almost like he conceded that, unless he does something, I don't think he's gonna take the spot of those 5 that are in front of him at the moment.
Well, when you look back a couple of years ago, someone like a Paddy Dow was probably getting a game over a Matt Kennedy. And now that's flipped around because Kennedy, like Voss is coming in with this new mentality of, no, I want people that are going to be powerful and going to be tough in the contest. So I think that role reversal now is one of the first signs of, not only is there change that they're telling us about, but it's being implemented.
Yeah, 100%. That's one of the things. He's saying the right things. And like he pretty much said at the press conference in front of everyone, Dow, you're not ready, mate. And I don't know if you're going to make it back in. You're not in front of the 5 guys yet. And you should be, man. This is year 6. 5, 6.
Year 5.
Yeah, come on, man.
I think it's a good thing for him. I really do. I think if he goes back and if he's going to get a game, he's obviously going to need to be providing. I mean, listen, it's not like he's never done it. The Essendon game last year that we'll talk about for the 5 minutes before he got the poke in the eye, it was good. But until he does that for a full game and maybe 3 or 4 weeks, I think it'll develop more hunger within him. I really do.
I hope so. And sometimes this is what you need. Like sometimes you have to get to a point where you're at your lowest. You know what I mean? Look at, let's talk about like he's gone now, but Jones, he did that, man. Like he was at his lowest, you know what I mean? They were going to get rid of him and then, they tried, it was a different scenario, but they tried him in the back line, his last opportunity, and he succeeds, So we need to put that rocket up Dow's ass, man. We need him.
Yeah.
I mean, he's got that big ass, mate, where he can just break out of town. He's got that speed, So what's missing? What is missing? That's what I'll be asking. What's missing, mate? Why won't you go in to get the ball? Seriously, don't tell me he's more talented than Walsh. I'm going to put it out there.
I get what you mean. No, I get what you're saying.
Well, why is Walsh get 5 votes from the Brownlow? Because he wants him, man. He goes after even Williams said it in that thing, man. Like, Walsh wants the ball. Williams always said, why does he get 40 possessions a game? You know why? Because he goes to 80 contests. He wills himself to the next contest. That's what Paddy Dow's got to do. And Lockie O'Brien did a little bit of that. He just willed himself to the next contest, you know. That's what we got to want from Dow. Is it his fitness too? Like, you got to wonder that. And if it is, whose fault's that? Is it partly him? Is it partly Russell? Like, is it, come on, Walsh doesn't need that motivation. But maybe Paddy Dow does, you know, he needs that sort of motivation. But I'm telling you, mate.
It's the big challenge. One of the big challenges for him, for the coaches this year. Because we definitely need him, and he can provide something that very few players can. And when you look at him and Chera, they're the same draft.
That's right. And he was 3. What was Chera, like 6 or something, 5 or 10? Whatever.
Whatever. He was in that top 5.
There is a top thing, and he's definitely gone to next level, right? But Chera's got a bit of, like, what I saw, he's got some skill, man. He's got some skill.
He's got some class, mate.
The big one is class here. Yeah, he's class here. Yeah, but still, you're a pick 3, mate. Like, I don't know. I don't get it.
I think once you start, it just goes to show. Once you're a pick 3. All that means is in year 12, you did all your study, you did all your grades, and then after year 12, you start again.
Yeah, exactly.
That's
exactly.
kind of what it is.
Remember when you were in primary school, you thought you were the king, right? In grade 6. And then you went to Form 1 and you were the smallest one there and used to get beaten up, right? This is what's happening now, right, with Dow. Like, he's with the big boys now, you know. I'm seeing some comments here that's saying, like, I believe in Paddy Dow and blah, blah, blah. All right, yeah, good. Believe, faith. When that's the answer you give when you have no answers, man. Like, I'm telling you, man, this is why we got faith in him. We're not seeing anything. I want to see it. Show me.
It's hope more than what it is anything.
That's right. This is what we got now. We got hope that he's going to be good. I hope this is like, I'm sick of this hope. I want to see something, mate, you know. But trust me, I want him to do well, man. I want Paddy Dow. But remember, I said this last year on the Jumper Punch when he played that one good game and everyone was like, yeah, but Paddy Dow, this is what he's supposed to do, mate. 20 possessions should be your bloody bread and butter, mate.
It's his job.
Like, why are you, like, you know, like, you're giving him such praise for 20 possessions, mate? Like, this is the problem. He probably went home that day and he was like on top of the world. He was cutting out the newspaper, sticking that in his own scrapbook, right? So now it's time to show, mate. It's time to show you. So
yeah. Well, the other one was my boy, and I'll stick with him because I've got hope, faith, and all belief, and that's Zach Fisher.
Sam, what will Zach Fisher's role predominantly look like this year?
Well, we think his impact is going to be forward and on ball. You know, you've seen enough of him to know just how dangerous he is, and so his pre-season's been fantastic. He's been one of those guys last year that I'm sure that was well and truly missed amongst the group. He provides that real point of difference. He's got that real fleet of foot. You know, sort of got the dancing shoes on. He knows how to get in and out of traffic. You know, he gets the ball movement going. So there's a fair bit going for him. He provides a lot of spark for us. So I would say, you know, predominantly forward, but certainly some spurts on ball.
I think when you look at the hole that's left because of Walsh not being there in the practice match, but I'm going to be more cautious about watching it on Thursday. I think Fisher was the one that actually, with O'Brien, they're the ones that actually got more of the ball than what I'm used to seeing. And the opportunity's there for him.
Yeah, he stepped up a little bit, so I was happy with that. He's got what's the problem with Fisher? Tell me what the problem with Fisher is. Because you know he's talented. You've seen it.
His body lets him down.
5 goals after coming back after a long stint, and he's talented, man. And when he gets the ball, so what's his issue?
His body.
It's not his body. He's lazy. All right. So fair enough. He had a few injuries, so look, I don't want to too much. Of course, the injuries are going to hold you back, you know. To me, sometimes he just seems a little bit lazy, you know what I mean? Again, it's that not doing enough, going to the next contest, you know, maybe doing the tackle and then doing the second tackle and doing a third tackle, you know, that's what's important. I just think he's a little bit lazy, but
Well, there's bad habits all throughout, and that's what we've got to try and stamp out. These little bad habits.
He's got talent, mate. Like, we want Fisher to do well, man. Like, and plus he's wearing that 25, mate. Like, I'm telling you, people of Linko, he wouldn't be happy about. And the Jezza, you know. So we're hoping, as I said, it's that aggression. Like, they can't all be like Voss. Like, let's get it wrong. But
No,
aggression
that's true.
doesn't just mean you go in head first. Aggression means going to get the ball at the next contest, running hard to the next contest. You know what I mean? Putting yourself in front of the next player. You know what I mean? Pushing yourself in front. You know, getting that ball when it's on the ground and being the last one to pick it up and give it to the umpire. All these little things matter. You know what I mean? No, it's mine, mate. You got to want the ball, you know? So, anyway.
No, that's good. Well, I want to move away from the Q&A now and talk a little bit about you and the jumper punch and what's to come. Did you want me to play the little thing now?
Let's play it now, and then we play it again later because I was happy. Anyway, show it.
All right. So we've got this is the sneak peek into season 2 of the jumper punch with a little special message.
All night and everything he sees is just blue. Like him, inside and outside, blue his house.
If you thought I kicked a lot of goals in my AFL career, what about the boys from Jumper Punch? Listen in at 8 o'clock on Tuesdays. They're kicking plenty of snags. Woo!
Nobody to listen. I'm good. I was beat up, I died. I was beat, I was dying. I was beat up, I died. I was beat, I was dying. I was beat up, I died. I was beat.
I knew you were happy for a reason.
I'm going to be happy enough. Family, go, you beauty. Woo! I love it.
That is a mighty, mighty endorsement right there.
We have to thank Fred, man. He done us a big favour for doing that, you know. But, yeah, he says, look, he knows about the show, so that was already big enough for me. I don't know if he's watched it too many times. He is a busy man, yeah. But the jumper punch, man, that's just one one of many special things happening this year. So the jumper punch is going to be a big year, mate. It's going to be a big year, man. We've been working hard. Paul's been working hard, commentating, doing all this stuff, getting ready. Like me and Mars have been hibernating. We've come out. Like, Mars is like a bear because he's still in last year. He doesn't know what's going on. So he's angry, man. So he's coming out. We're ready to rock and roll, you know. We've been, as you can see, someone asked about where's the memorabilia. Well, we've just painted the studio, you know. So there's some special stuff coming up. It's going to be a little bit of a revamp of the studio, you know. Look, man, there's going to be the old favourites. We're going to have all those old favourites, Mars's Journal, you know, Rocco's Rants, Paul's Call, all of them. We're going to have some new segments. We're working on a more rounded show, you know what I mean? So there's going to be some other stuff in there. Another big Talking Blue is going to be huge this year, man. Me and the great man, Vince Lochisano, I'm telling you, get ready. Get ready for some special guests on that one there. And we have got some really special interviews through the whole year, man. So pretty much every episode is going to have a special. And we're talking players, man. I'm telling you, if you see him, you won't recognise me. Go, where's he been for 20 years? And all of a sudden, he pops up on the jumper punch. So you'll be seeing that. So, yeah, so really excited about all that. Listen, Blue, Broad and jumper punch, I'm telling you, we're going next level this year, mate.
We are.
We're going next level.
I'm just watching you as you're talking there, and I'm like, I've just had like a flashback. And I say too, every time we're on the phone, we always end the phone calls almost the same way. It's just like, it's so, mate, it's so refreshing to see you found the thing, your thing, and to see the way it's, I mean, last year, you know, a lot of work goes in week to week. You forget what happens last week because you're already focused on next week. But when the audience can probably attest to this, when the outside looking in, like when you see what happened last year with you guys from, you know, a Skype show with Pommy, then we put it into a different structure, and then we had to fix the audio, then the video got better, then the segments got better, then Mars started finding his voice. I think goes without saying, you should be very happy and proud with what's happened. And I'm just happy to see how you guys just love it. It's just pure passion.
I'm telling you, me, Mars, and Paul, and look, the whole Jumper Punch family. There's other people that help us out and that too in this. You know what I mean? I have to give a shout out like to Vince and Rash, if you're out there, man. He's been a big help this year for us. Sorting some stuff out. So look, we love it. We love it, man. We get on there, and then when we come here, man, we just love filming it. I just love editing the stuff, and then seeing what, like you said, what it's turned into. It's phenomenal, man. If you look at that first episode to like 25, and next, I'm telling you, look out for episode 26. It's completely different look. We got new equipment, So yeah, it's gone next level, man. And it's unbelievable. Yeah. It's unbelievable from that moment that I rang you until now, So, but we're loving it. I'm telling you, next year, man, I'm so buzzing. I want to show all the interviews now.
You can't.
I know. That's how excited I am. I'm telling you, I'm telling you, these guys are fans. And we got old players, we got premiership players, we got Norm Smith medalists, man. We got recently retired players, the favourites, and the stories they're telling us, man. We got players who've been chased by gangs. Hey, we've got a story about the boat cruise, the famous boat cruise that you don't want to miss. You know what I mean? So I'm telling you, this is huge, man. So really excited.
No, very exciting. When can people expect episode 1 of season 2022?
So it's 2 days before the big game. So it's I think March 15th on the Tuesday. So that's a big weekend. So we'll be watching. We're going to be filming. We've got a bit of an event we're going to go to. And then on the 15th is the first opening. So it's the pre-show to Richmond. Yeah, so Tuesday, March the 15th, like Fev says, every Tuesday, 8 p.m. Woo!
Love it. No, that's exciting. I think we'll end it on there. I might play that little bit just to really finish things off. But Rocco, appreciate you coming on tonight, mate. It's good to have you back in the fold.
Yeah, man, I really appreciate it. I love talking to you. We could do this for hours. I love the people. So this is exciting stuff, and I'm really pumped for it, mate. And let's get this season rocking and rolling.
Absolutely.
If you thought I kicked a lot of goals in my AFL career, what about the boys from Jumper Punch? Listen in at 8 o'clock on Tuesdays. They're kicking plenty of snags. Woo!